beautiful people. This is Pretty Girl Love Trap content. What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Trap content, and we are gathered here today on this lovely Tuesday to discuss episode 7 of the BMF documentary, Blowing Money Fast. So, yeah, this was a pretty okay episode. It's not my favorite of the 7 thus far, but I did learn some information. Okay, but before we get into things, please make sure you like this video. If you're not a subscriber, please make sure you are subscribed. And make sure we're in the chat during the live. Make sure you're in the comments if you're watching the replay. And yes, share me if you think I'm shareable. I think I'm shareable. Okay. So I appreciate all of the support. Before I get into things, I got to say what's up, Daria. Hey, DeMarcus, Samara, Kendall. How y'all doing this evening? Please let me know if y'all doing all right. In the meantime, let's get into things, y'all. We have one more episode left. So we are winding down, okay, to the inevitable of the BMF documentary, at least for this season. Of course, it seems as though there may be talks of a season 2, which I won't be mad at. But yes, episode 7. So we start off pretty much recapping what happened previous episode in regards to Meech being on the run, him and Yogi. They pretty much just took their behinds all the way down to Miami, okay? So I'm like, did y'all have like a suitcase in the back full of money? Like, I don't know, like how prepared was y'all? Because apparently he called Yogi to pick him up and it was prepared to leave. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he had bank cards or what have you. I don't know how Meech was doing his business with his monies. But yes, I'm going to assume that he at least had some cash on him. But we open up this episode with Wayne Joyner, which is, part of the LA crew. And he was pretty much saying, in the drug business, you cannot fall in love with anything, okay? You cannot be attached because he's pretty much recounting how many times they had to just leave houses with expensive Italian furniture, okay? Money, cars, jewelry, like leaving stuff was normal. And I'm like, that ain't me, okay? I can't. I gotta have at least a couple of my favorite things back. You know how like when women get prepared to go to the hospital when they about to deliver and have a baby, I'm gonna need that bag of my favorite things packed at all times because I'm sorry, because some things you just can't find again. All right. But Jack Harvey, he's pretty much stating that mainly when drug dealers know that their houses have been ransacked and raided, they do not go back to those locations, okay? They just leave it be because they found a lot of evidence, okay? They found ledgers, they found money, they found drugs. Meech already said 20 bricks came early to the White House, which I'm still annoyed that he had 20 bricks at the White House, but I'm not going to go on a rant about that. But yes, they pretty much took their behinds to Miami, okay? Let's see, Kendall, you doing good? Samara, you too. That's awesome. That's awesome. DeMarcus, you said Meech and Yogi left everything in Atlanta. I know. Imagine leaving like everything. Like if you would have told me, yo, we gotta go leave now. Like leave now. No, I need like an hour. I need an hour to pack my favorite outfits. Okay, I can't. No, I can't. Not right now. But of course, they had different things on the line. Okay, I'm over here, a nice citizen and what have you. Okay, so what's up, Ronald? How are you? Thank you for coming through. So, of course, Meech and Yogi, they take the behinds in Miami, and it was kind of convenient because Tara, his baby's mother, little Meech's, mother, was in Miami already. So that seemed like, very convenient situation. So it's January 2005. And yes, Jack Harvey was like, you know what? You would have thunk Meech would have learned his raggedy lesson in Atlanta. but he takes it upon himself to be with the shenanigans in Miami, okay? So much so that Crowbar, which was a pop-in club in Miami, they had BMF nights on Sundays, okay? And Meech was like, well, they, approached us, and saying like, hey, we can, promote there. They would offered BMF or Meech 100%. Was it 100% at the door and 10% of the bar? And honestly, a lot of club owners, they make their money at the bar anyway. So getting 90% of a bar, of a packed house, that's a given. But I'm like, was Meech getting free bottles or was he paying for the bottles? How was the contracts working? Okay. But we hear, Meech recanting how he felt that it would have served a dual purposes because that would allow him to promote the record label. I'm like, bruh. And y'all, let me preface this, okay? I'm familiar with Da Vinci, and I took it upon myself to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, okay? And I listened to about 3 songs, okay? Not 3, but 3 songs with Blue Da Vinci. And no, I would leave the club, okay, if I heard those 3 songs featuring Blue Da Vinci and Crowbar. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. He's just not my cup of tea. He wasn't doing it. So I now I understand why the police was like, yeah, Blue was trash, okay? And you trash if the cops talk about you trash, okay? Because some of them be on it. Let's see. Hey, Kendall, you said the White House was T's home, right? Yeah, that was T's headquarters. But maybe I watched too much TV, y'all. But I would think if you have 20 bricks, you need to have it in a place where you can't be traced to. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to those houses, you got people on the documents and the paperwork, the deed, or what have you. And from my understanding, Meech and his peoples was always there. So I would think you would have it, in a nice, safe warehouse or something. But we don't need to be. You can't be backing up the FedEx truck with my keys, bruh, at my house. Like, no, that ain't cool. I know they ain't sending it FedEx. I'm just saying. Nah, that ain't gonna be what it is, okay? Hey DeMarcus, you said Meech still haven't learned his lesson about staying under the radar. That's what I'm saying. Like, Meech, bruh, come on. How you on the run? But pretty much shut up shop to a whole new situation. Like, of course, we know he's already dealing drugs out of Miami, but you got to be out in the clubs too. I can imagine how frustrated T was. And I was just watching Tanisha Welch's Vlad interview today because I wanted to clarify some things because I watched it a while back, which is T's girlfriend for a while. And I think Lala is pretty much playing her character in BMF. And, she was just really just reiterating like T, he just was a homebody. He liked nice things. We like to travel, what have you. But T was very under the radar. So I can imagine how frustrated he was with this brother. Like, oh my God, especially probably being sunned all the time because he was the little brother, the younger brother. Like, Meech, you probably couldn't tell him nothing. Kendall, you said definitely need an hour to pack in a glass of wine to coordinate the looks. Yes, I need my on the run looks. Okay, where's my black hoodie? Where's my, my little hat? Like, I need my little on the run outfits. I cannot be. Oh gosh. Sounds like you're throwing, what is that? Strawberry tomatoes. Oh, I'm just saying, like, art is subjective, okay? And Blue's art is just not my cup of tea. I'm just saying. And don't get me wrong, this is the trap. I like ratchet things. I like things that the norm and society may not deem as talent and easy on the ears, but Blue ain't it. Blue ain't it. Yeah, Kendall, I was a little slow. Thank you. I figured it out. It looked like strawberries for a minute. I was like, ooh, strawberries. No. But yes. And even Yogi was like, we knew they was looking at us. We knew we always had to keep our heads on the swivel. It was so many people around to the point where we couldn't really decipher who was just trying to club and party with us to being undercovers. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Ain't that like a, a sign to chill the F out? Like, I digress. Okay. So Meech over there having big fun in Miami. All right. And, his son's mother is like, Terry, he did not like the fact that Meech was a party animal. And we see here, Crowbar, they had a whole song, y'all. If y'all watch the documentary, when they was playing the clips, and I love the fact that they have so many clips, so many photos, so many things that's documented. Of course, is low-key bad because, this thing called evidence. But for us and nosy people such as myself, I appreciate all of the content. But when they was playing the clip, one of the clips at the Crowbar, I think it was Fabulous. It sounded like Fabulous, who pretty much was like singing a song about Crowbar on Sunday. So yeah, y'all. And Fabulous, he was one of the rappers that was around him heavy too. Like with the rabbit hole I was going down with Blue Da Vinci, like he had a song with Fabulous. And don't get me wrong, Blue, the beats, the tracks weren't horrible. It was just the lyrics. It was a little elementary for me, but hey, to each his own, okay? So, yeah, y'all. Terry, he wasn't happy with it, but I'm sure it was nothing he could do about it. And, we have White Boy Rick here. He's also giving his commentary. I felt like 50 Cent was going to do a show or trying to pitch a show about White Boy Rick. I know I saw the movie. But let me know if y'all heard any things about a White Boy Rick television show. And I was so mad they hyped up Eminem's appearance as White Boy Rick in the original BMF show. I was so aggravated because he was in all of like 3 seconds. But I digress. But yes, he's pretty much recanting. Like, yeah, you see people popping bottles, having fun in the clubs, but he's really stressing that drug dealing is a stressful occupation. Okay, you got to worry about the cops, you got to worry about the ops, you got to worry about the haters. Like, it's so many things involved. It can really be heavy on you. And then the police was pretty much recanting that Meech had at this point was not sleeping well. He was having bad dreams, nightmares, waking up in cold sweats. So it began to be very stressful. But at the same time, it's like Meech, in my head, like you're low-key digging a deeper hole for yourself. Like you really just on display and you are being watched. So it's like, should I feel bad or not? Because it's like you're really kind of low-key doing it to yourself. Hey, James Kelly, you said Blue is boo boo. Oh, Kendall, you said just say boo, pretty girl. I'm just saying, like, maybe I need to hear more. But from the things that I've heard earlier today, when I was deciding to take it upon myself to do some extra research, it wasn't my thing. And apparently, and I was looking at the comments in the videos, apparently Blue Da Vinci has some type of rivalry or beef with Young Jeezy. And he definitely, I could tell, was kind of emulating him in a little bit. So yeah, y'all, he tried. And I feel like Meech was probably trying to get another version of Jeezy, because he mentioned Jeezy was kind of a part of BMF or affiliated on some level. So, Jeezy was already signed. He was already taken for. So he probably was trying to just do another copyright version. Just how like Jermaine Dupri over there been trying to find the next little Bow Wow for the past 20 years. Like, it's kind of like a situation like that. All right. So Meech was pretty much saying, like, via jail, okay, from the feds, he was saying, it wasn't hard to leave. It could have been pretty easy to leave, but he wanted to make sure like his pupils was good. He didn't want to leave anybody behind. I'm like, well, if you would have put more energy into the label and signing more people, you could have had jobs for your employees. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. What could I say? All right. So Yogi, she's recanting that Meech had a conversation with her and he was like, well, I want to leave you with my prized possession, my son. I want you to kind of look after him while we in Miami. I'm trying to keep you away from the drug business. I don't want you to be a nanny. Don't take it like that, girl. But I'm just trying to protect you. And I'm like, is it really protection? Because she already hot. Like, she's even saying, like, on the way to Miami, like, girl, from here now, we're hot. So I don't know about placing your son in the care of somebody that you know is hot. And of course, they don't know this at the time, but she's on wires or what have you. But I can understand him trusting her because she's a ride or die. She's very trustworthy. So nothing against her character. I feel like she's probably one of the most trustworthy people that he could have left his son with. But the fact that she was kind of hot too, that kind of puts him in a little bit of danger. But Meech is out here living his best life at 3-4 years old. Okay, he was probably out in them streets more than me, and I'm grown. Like, we see clips of him, and you see here, he over there with Blue Da Vinci, he over there with Big Shining. Okay, and I'm not even gonna lie, when Meech was recanting this story about him being in the strip club, being so sleepy and trying to rush home to make pancakes, Little Meech, I thought he was about to say Little Meech was over there in the champagne room with him. I don't know, like, what I was about to hear out of Meech's mouth when it comes to his son. He was like, you trying to expose him to the real world? I don't know. But it was cute seeing, Little Meech over here. And I just really love the fact that he's playing his dad in BMF. I just think that's so cute. That's the cheesiness in me, y'all. Hey, Detroit, what's up? How you doing? Kenzo, you said I respect that, but I was yelling, you better save yourself. They grown. You better say it, girl, because it's a lot. Like, I understand you love your peoples, but at this point, you're a parent, okay? And not saying you got to be selfish. You could have figured out a way. Like, there was so many other opportunities. But I feel like it was also, he didn't want to let go of that throne. Like, you can't tell me you would have been just like, oh, okay, let me go ahead, hang my drug dealer hat up. Let me go ahead and be the next P. Diddy. Like, I don't think he would have been satisfied with that. Okay? No. Especially when you found out, them 30%, them taxes taken out, because the drug money, you don't get no taxes taken out. So he probably would have been like, oh, no, let me get my drug dealer hat back on. This ain't the life for me. Okay? So, we discussed how Meech, and Tara, they was really getting close in their relationship. He wanted to have more of a home environment. And while Meech is over there in Miami, J-Bo seems like he's really running this organization quite smoothly. Like, he seemed like he was just, the best underboss you could ask for, in my opinion. Everything's moving swiftly. And J-Bo was pretty much saying, like, yo, I was moving everything. I was quiet. I was about my business. And, of course, there's still rumblings of things possibly happening, coming down the pipe. But he was, saying that Meech was saying, like, F them. Almost, so NWA, F the police type stuff. And I'm like, bruh, it's so many, like, little contradictory things. It's like, they coming. Like, won't you just go somewhere and sit down somewhere, Meech? But, oh, Lord, the stress, okay? Hey, DeMarcus, Big Meech was addicted to that fast money. Yeah, I'm about to get into that as well. Kendall, you said understand, but all the blocks was hot. Yes. Hey, Daria. Hey, Jay. I wonder, did Tara stay with Meech like how Tanisha stayed with Terry and now they married? Tanisha and Terry is married now? Girl, let me know. Because when I was watching her Vlad interview, and I think this was a year or two ago, she stated that her and Terry kind of like made up in a sense, not necessarily like they were together, but he apologized because she was upset that some things that he promised her didn't happen. She didn't really specify, but it seems like maybe he was promising like money would be put away. That's what I'm assuming. And then it was no, I don't know. I really don't know, but let me know if it's a thing that they're married together. I don't know, but from my understanding, Meech was out there doing all the things with the rappers and the girlies, and you can't tell me if your man out there at the club every night. Come on, girl. I think she was really, from my opinion, I feel like she was on some like I'm gonna let my man cheat in peace type thing, but at the same time, I feel like she was probably just trying to be like oblivious to the whole thing because at this point he's 37. Okay. So he's pretty much the age I am at this point. And don't get me wrong, men and women are different. We mature differently, but you're not about to be out there in them streets every night, bruh, and coming home to me at 6 in the morning talking about, hey, boo, like, no. And she mentioned previously that, she wasn't about that life. And, that was what she did in Atlanta. Like, she was like a bottle girl, what have you. So I can understand, her wanting to separate work and her personal life. And especially when you work in that environment, you probably don't want to be up in there all the time. But I don't think she was naive to what Meech had going on, okay? But Meech admitted, like, yeah, I was addicted to the money. He was like, it's something, I've been doing since what? I'm a kid, 15, 16. And he mentions, 37. So pretty much 20 years of not having no W-2s, not clocking in and out, like having bread at a plethora. Like, I could understand him being addicted to that money and that lifestyle. Like, that's a lot, okay? And meanwhile, money is still flowing, Atlanta, St. Louis, the Dakotas. Y'all had the Dakotas on lock. Like, don't nobody be talking about the Dakotas. So that goes to show, like, these people, they wasn't playing around with the US of A, okay? They was getting all of the money, all right? But yes, I guess he wanted a family life, but he still wanted to be out in them streets. All right. Kendall said she knew what she got into messing around with him. I'm sure he gave her whatever she wanted, especially exactly since she was mother. So yeah, I definitely was one of those things. And some women look up like, have that point of view, like he over here doing what probably a broke boy do. So I'm gonna go ahead and stay with this man with this money and get all the, things that I want and desire and whatever. I'm gonna just go ahead and deal with it. A lot of women have that point of view. Hey girl, how are you doing? Thank you for coming through in the live, child. All right, so y'all, the wires is heavy, okay? We get to the point where things are coming down and it's being real aggressive, all right? And they're, stating that in the course of 18 months, there's a lot of seizures that's coming through. And, they still can't quite link Meech to BMF activity. And I'm like, y'all got your boy Terry over here on hundreds of hours of tape, but y'all cannot get Meech. And when I was also listening to Takara's, oh Lord, not Takara, Tanisha's Vlad interview, she stated that, apparently Terry loved talking on the phone, okay? Not just really about drug stuff, just in general. And there was a situation where she would kind of hear like cracklings or something on the phone, insinuating that it was possibly tapped. And she wanted actually Terry to throw away one of the phones out the window. They was kind of having an argument or a discussion, what have you, but he refused to do so. And it seemed like it was possibly the same phone he got caught on. So it's just really weird to me that he, even though, they got a hold of that number that Terry was on, like I would just assume that he will be changing his number like every 7 days, like at least every month. But to keep at least have multiple phones. I don't know. It just did not make sense that he did just not change phones and phone numbers. Like, it's so aggravating to me. Like, it blows my mind. Like, I don't understand that at all. Hopefully I haven't missed much or just watched number 7 about an hour ago. No, we just got in here. I mean, we halfway through, but you can always watch the replay after you get done watching this part. Yes, it's so interesting. Yeah, I don't know why Tanisha was in my head. I'm sorry, y'all, but it's Tonisha. Well, on the when I was looking on the Vlad thing. That's what they had on the title. Okay. They probably was calling her Tony for sure. Okay. I know I'm not crazy, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it says Tonisa, sorry, Welch. Tonesa Welch. So Tonisa. They was probably calling her Tony for short. So yes. But she was, stating that, she was aggravated with your boy T being on the phone. Okay. So at this point, they go from 3 to 27 wires. Okay. And they're pretty much saying like they had a lot of little cases, but they didn't want to, F anything up. Long story short, we have so many things going on with this large investigation. You got multiple jurisdictions, multiple alphabet organizations. I mean, we talking about IRS, FBI, ATF, DA, all pretty much the major cities, LA, New York, Orlando, I believe they had Louisville, Greenville, Miami. Like it was a lot, and they had to really be strategic when it came to how to handle this situation because one false move it's effed up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure it was so frustrating making sure you're communicating with the right state. Okay, what do y'all have? Okay, we need to let that go because we're trying to build this over here. And then talking to the IRS and communicating with DA. And we already know those organizations are very possessive when it comes to especially organizations and this type of case because everybody wants the pride and glory. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants to be acknowledged for their work. So I can imagine the stress. Even Rand, the assistant DA was talking about he wasn't even sleeping. Okay. And I'm sure, I mean, he seemed very excited about this anyway. So I'm sure he was happy not to get no sleep. All right. Yes, all the alphabets, girl. I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I had to cough, so that's why I had to mute myself. I apologize, y'all. But Jay said you said in her interview, she said a lot of the wires, they caught Terry. Or you could hear her telling him to get off the phone because she didn't like him discussing all that she knew people could be listening. Exactly. But he was probably just being arrogant. But it's so frustrating, like y'all that not one time caught Meech on the phone. I mean, but they also mentioned previously that Meech, he was more so, delegating responsibility. So he probably did all of that, in person. And also Yogi was a lot of the times like, spewing out orders to the staff as well, if you will. So I guess, y'all, but ain't nobody had that boy number, but he was probably over there, doing what they saw on the wire, throwing away phones. Okay. Did you not watch that episode, Terry? It was probably too late anyway. Oh my God. So, they stated that they did have enough warrants to make arrests, but they still did not have the link to Meech and the organization. So here comes in play some of the dominoes that help. Okay. I had high hopes for this young man, but yeah, Omari McCree. Okay. Yeah. Omari, he apparently had the entrepreneurial spirit. Okay. So much so he was like, you know what? It's not enough to be making my own money with Meech. I'm going to go ahead and venture off and have a side business with my homeboy Jeffrey. And if y'all recall, I believe episode 5 or 6, Jeffrey was the one where they let go that had all the all the work in the car. Okay, so child, Omari ended up getting indicted at the state level by Rand. Okay, and started running his mouth. Okay, and they knew, if Meech was to find out about him having a side business, he would probably be dead. But yeah, he started telling all the business about, how the work came in, just the whole levels of the organization. And he pretty much stated like, hey, I get my drugs from Meech. And that was the first time they was ever able to really get that out of someone, apparently. So of course they're going to run with this, okay? Because they've been working tirelessly. And poor old police officer was spending all that time in Magic City. And we couldn't let that go in the vein, okay? Oh gosh. I thought Jeffrey was going to be the one. I know, me too. Me too. He looks sad on the mugshot. Yes. I'm like, oh. Sorry. Oh Lord, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, he definitely looks sad. Okay. And part of the rabbit hole I went to, I had to just see what was going on. So I Googled his name, y'all, and he ended up serving 5 of the 15 years that he was given. But he was actually arrested in 2011 for pretty much beating up his girlfriend and her friend. And I'm like, oh, okay, drug dealing. Okay, that's cool. But you actually beating on women? Okay, nah, bruh. I'm good on you. I am good on you, boo boo, Omari. All right. So Omari was the one that I read the article on. And yeah, he got arrested in 2011. He was actually 32. So he had recently got out, because all this went on 2005, maybe 6 when they were sentenced. So let's say he got out 2010, 2011, he was still on parole. And it was a situation where he was living with his girlfriend. Her friend came in. Apparently the door was unlocked, but he was pretty much asking the friend like, hey, do you live here? Something, get smart with her. He started hitting on the friend, and his girlfriend was trying to intervene. He ended up hitting the girlfriend. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot, okay? But I guess he free somewhere, but I guess all that aggression of being a snitch, I guess it was stressing him out, and, caused him to start taking his anger out on women's, all right? So we have, all these, and I love that in fact they have all this footage of him partying with Meech, and just you would have thought he would have been one of the ones that kept the 10 toes down. Nah, no. And I'm like, 15 years? That ain't a lot. Let me stop lying, y'all. Who knows? But Yogi and a couple of the members were saying, Meech will always say, we're gonna see who keeps it real when the walls start caving in, okay? Because we all about keeping it real, okay? We even have a picture of Yogi over there with Omari, and yeah, he don't look like a snitch really right here, but okay. So Meech's girlfriend Tara, she stated that she was very hurt that some of Meech's friends were snitching and what have you, because she treated them like family, because it was all at the house. That was another thing she said she hated. She loved the fact that Meech was home, or they was getting close, but she hated the fact that was like 11 dudes at the house at a given time. And I can imagine, like, you're not about to be up in here drinking all my Kool-Aid, just spunking up the place, scratching in the balls. Like, you're not about to do all that up in my house, like, bruh. But Yogi stated that Meech was telling Tara, like, hey, they are here to protect us. So I guess it's one of those things where, she kind of had to deal with the baggage, but we would have to figure out some boundaries, bro, because I'm sure it was loud and aggravating, okay? But yeah, I can understand her being hurt and feeling betrayed, but at the same time, This is the life. This is the life. Okay. Um, he said, wait, pretty girl, is Sabrina Peterson the same Sabrina that told on T.I. and Tiny? That's one of Meech's women. I don't know. I know the T.I. and Tiny situation and Sabrina. I remember that, but I don't know if she's linked to Meech. We may have to do some investigating. I don't know, child. I don't know. The one thing I want to know if it's Meech and Terry are cool again. I hope so, but the vibe is giving me that they are not. Yeah, I feel like at the core they love each other, but it's like they don't really f with each other like that, which is sad. Especially seemingly, that they really grew up very close. But when it comes to money and business and family, sometimes that do not mix. And I could see them, both blaming each other for their downfall in some way. I could see Teach, being upset that Meech, sorry, I could see Terry being upset that Meech was so flashing out there, but I could also see Meech being upset at Terry, like getting caught on the wire. You know what I'm saying? So they both had their faults, but I honestly feel like they balance each other out so well, which is why the organization was so successful. Meech was out there being the businessman, going out there taking initiative, and Terry was, kind of in the background, making sure all the things in the, home front was being taken care of. But I hope, if they're not close now, that they can at least reconcile, because life is so short. Okay. So, hey, Detroit, you said I could actually answer that for you. They are rebuilding their relationship. Thank you, Detroit, our resident BMF expert. Okay. Yeah, I made a whole title for you, bro. I appreciate. All right, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, the Wi-Fi is acting up. I don't know why they playing around like I ain't paid my bill. Like for real, for real. Thank you, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, come on, don't be doing this to your girl. Acting like I'm in the hood and whatnot. Give me 1 second to pull up. All right. I appreciate y'all for staying on, because yeah, they trying to play me. They trying to play me up in here. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate you. So, Lord, they playing with me. All right. So getting back to, yeah, so she was upset. It was 50, 11 dudes up in the house at any given time. And, she didn't like that, but I'm sure other things kind of made up for it, if you will. Okay. If y'all know what I mean. So the next domino effect that they talk of bringing the organization down is Doc Marshall. Okay. Of course, he's running the whole Exquisite Empire car business. Okay. And, they were saying he deemed himself as the CFO of BMF. And yes, they were trying to get at him for a minute because they still wanted justice for the double homicide that occurred, previously. So they apparently picked old boy up and met him at the airport. Okay, he's probably coming back from a lovely vacation from Orlando, and he was met with the popo. Okay, of course, they say he went down fairly easy because he already knew what it was. But once they started pressing him, he was like, I know some bigger fish. And I'm like, Lord, you are one of the bigger fish, but I guess, I mean, put you on the list too now. Put you on the snitching list. Okay. So we kind of jumped to Meech going back to Detroit. And I don't know, like I feel like the way they was kind of jumping around in this episode, it didn't really feel too congruent to me. Like, I don't know, it just felt kind of off and weird. It didn't really flow as the previous episodes, but I'm gonna let it rock. I know we're trying to get a lot of information in 8 episodes, okay? But yes, let's see here. I've missed this comment. I saw some pictures of the baby mama and Meech at a red carpet event at Martha's Vineyard with Diddy. I noticed she's somewhere in his BMF foolishness though. Yes. Oh Lord. So we go back, and Meech is back in Detroit visiting. It's the October 2005, and we're getting commentary from the mom and the sister. And the mother was like, she wasn't really up on game in terms of Meech, being stressed out. She figured like, hey, maybe he didn't want to stress her out, which is why he hid it so well. But Meech, I'm a little annoyed because he states, yeah, when we would go out and club and party, I would see extra heavy police presence. I'm like, bruh, can we chill out for the clubs? I mean, at this point, you 37, 38. You have at least 20 years of clubbing under your belt. You ain't tired, bruh. You ain't tired. Like, I know it takes some dudes a while, but gosh, dog, can we set up a private event at a mansion or something? Just bring some girls, some strippers, and some homies. Like, why we always gotta be at the club on Front Street? Which kind of brings into, his best friend, Roland, was stating that, he feels like, there's kind of a facade of Big Meech. He felt like he had to live up to his name and be out there. But to him, he was like, his best friend Meech. He states that when he would come home, Meech would be eating vanilla wafers or what have you with his dog. And, he would state, people look at you as a king now. And Meech would kind of like, just play him off like, oh, no, not me, just being real humble. I don't know. I do feel like Meech enjoyed the popularity and the attention, but he also liked his downtime and chill time too. So I feel like it was a combination of both. But of course, I don't know him personally, but I guess, child, I'm just still mad that he was still over there partying hard. Like he don't got cases about to come down on it. Okay. And then his sister, Nicole, she stated that, their reputation kind of was a negative effect on her and the family, because it would be situations where they were owe money, and she would low-key, be fearful, because sometimes when you owe money, they start looking for the family, what have you. And that brings me to a question. Maybe Detroit, you can answer this. But did they have like people watching, the family? Like, did they have, what I'm saying? Like, bodyguards, if you will, that the family wasn't aware of or was aware of, since they was so, hot out there in the streets. They were still moving weight in Detroit. So I'm just curious on how his family moved, around in the city, even though Meech and Terry was no longer there. But Nicole stated that she also felt that she had something to prove, like that she wasn't like her brothers. But yeah, I guess that's what happens. We got people in the live, child. Hey, Detroit said this episode was really moving too fast too. Yeah, okay. I thought like they was moving from city to city. I'm like, y'all need to slow down for a sister, okay? Y'all doing this high level overview of this story, and I need more details. Like, maybe I'm nosy, but I feel like we missing a lot of pieces, and they just kind of jumping from thing to thing. Like, I don't like that. I bet he was fun as heck to be around, though. Are you referring to Meech, Kendall? Meech was on that. Can't stop, won't stop. It's Meech, baby. Take that. Okay, I was thinking that too, Detroit. You said nobody was going to touch them. I was thinking like maybe Meech and Terry had so much clout that everyone knew not to touch them, okay? But we still had, I don't know the end story of what was their arch nemesis name? Oh Lord, it's start with an L. Y'all remind me in the chat. What was his name? Let me find his picture. Yes, him on here on the screen. Was he still around Detroit? Or was he out the game by this time? Y'all let me know. Was Beach and Terry's organization too much to where he was like, I ain't messing with them no more? Y'all let me know. Let me know. Oh my gosh. Can't stop the rain, y'all. Can't stop. So, child, I don't even know why. And I'll put it up here, but I just hate the photo that they always put for Terry. Like, you know, that it's a laying on the bed chilling. Like, I know we got other photos too, but y'all could have left this out. Y'all could have left this one out, okay? Oh gosh, he left Detroit. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Detroit. So y'all, St. Louis, October 2005, y'all. Your boy Terry was in Missouri. I believe it was Florissant. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Florissant, I believe. Because I used to watch Sweetie Pies, and I think they had a location in West Florence. Why these references got to revolve around food, I don't know. But this man was over there, somebody's house, gambling. There was $6 million of the dollars, okay? $6 million of the dollars, okay, being thrown around, what have you, in this little, gambling situation. And the feds pretty much rated it. Child. $6 million. Like the hood rat and me was like, why y'all playing $6 million? We just need to divide this up and just go shopping somewhere. Like, come on, y'all playing around with the $6 million? But y'all know how it is. Like, even Michael Jordan, even though I don't really mess with him too much right now, but he's known to be a big gambler. So that be happening. People be rich and be wanting to gamble still. Me, I'm too cheap for that, but I'm not on their level. So I get it, okay? Everybody got to have a vice. The mother is lying. I already had my thoughts on the mother's recant on things, but I'm gonna just let that be. Okay, I'm gonna respect my elders. All right, and yeah, I'm gonna let her tell her truth. Okay. I know, gambling. You making all this money and you gambling. What's up, Brillo? Thank you for coming through. Y'all make sure y'all like the video if y'all haven't done so already. Kendall, ain't that about a bitch Terry stay slipping? And that's the thing, like the most careful person. And you slipping. I probably would have felt more comfortable with them catching him in the warehouse with the dope. They catching him on a leisure evening, okay? On a smooth Sunday or something, and you go over here gambling and got raided in the house. Like, bruh. I was aggravated. Okay. In Missouri, nonetheless. I digress. Okay. So, same year, Miami 2005, we have Tara and Yogi pretty much recanting the feds raiding their house and them being taken down to the station. Tara is pretty much stating that, the cops was telling her, like, if you keep covering for Meech, you're going to go down. Okay. And it seems like she kept it 100. All right. And same as Yogi, she pretty much was, faced with like 100 or so photos on the on the table with pictures of her and Meech during surveillance. And she was pretty much saying, like, hey, I don't know what y'all want me to say. I don't know. We already know Yogi. She 10 toes down. She invited to my cookout. Okay. So they didn't really get nothing out of them. So they let them go that evening. And that's when they, realized, like, hey, Ish is closing in. I'm pretty sure Tara was like, Meech, I love you, boo, but I can't. We got a son, like, we got to part ways, boo boo. I love you. Send me my money, but it's child support, what have you. But yes, Terry was definitely bougie. Yes, I appreciated that. Like, our Black queens be holding it down. These fools over here with the braids and the cornrows, Omari and whatnot. Yeah. He could learn a lesson. All right. So we in Frisco, Texas, y'all. Meech over there, and they're saying he's keeping a lower profile. Okay, whatever that means. Okay, maybe he not popping bottles. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was still, doing something, but apparently he was trying to lay low. And one of his homies, that's being interviewed was saying, he felt, something was a little weird about a van across the street moving around. I'm like, you thought it was, you thought we just some random vans gonna be in this subdivision, bruh. What? If you didn't get arrested, you need to be fired. I'm pretty sure you got arrested. But I'm just saying, like, did you not take them to like drug dealer training? Like, did you not have orientation on what to look out for? I mean, it was probably too late anyway. But God, Lord, give me a head start. Y'all ain't built no tunnels. Y'all over there in Texas, bruh. Like, I guess I'm asking for too much. I'm sure he stood out in Texas. Probably did, Kendall. I heard Meech was having strippers going to his house since he could. Yes, I was thinking. That's my suggestion. Tell the girls to come to the house. Make sure they don't have no wires. Make sure, they scrape, don't have nothing under they, trench coat, whatever they bring into the house. Can't be, rolling around, bucky naked with our stripper wear on. But that's what I would think you would do. Have a couple of homies, some bottles, some nice women's, and chill at the house. Ain't nothing wrong with chilling at the house, especially the type of houses he could afford. I'm just saying, get you a nice little mansion situation. They ain't had Airbnb there, but you know what I'm saying. Get you some, okay? Yes, Kendall, drug dealer orientation. Come on. I thought that was normal. DeMarcus, it was a little too late when Meech got to yeah, bro. You should have did that when he got to Texas. Like the way he was moving, he should have did that. Really, he should have did that when he went to Miami. I mean, Atlanta. But at least when you got to Miami, like, bruh. Oh my gosh. Ain't that much attention in the club in the world. My friend Uncle knew Meech when he lived in Gardena in the 90s. He said Meech always like going out. To his detriment. I really feel like him clubbing so much is to his detriment, because we also hear as well in the documentary where, we felt like it all went down or started to, fall flat for the organization is when the murders occurred at the club with, sorry, I can't think of his name, but Puffy's, Wolf. Yeah, Anthony Wolf. I think that kind of shined a light on the organization, because before then they were just selling the drugs. They weren't hurting nobody, violently anyway. But yeah, when you start getting bodies, yeah, it's a problem, okay? And so, towards the end of the episode, we hear Meech, recant the situation. I started hearing sirens and trying to figure out, why was the police in the subdivision? How y'all gonna leave us with that? Meech, you in the subdivision. That's why they're there, bro. Come on. You on the run. You knew you had eyes on you in Atlanta. Come on. That was... I don't want to say what I want to say. Oh, I don't know why they have police in the subdivision, bruh. Even if you wasn't there, police in the subdivision is not uncommon. We see Caucasian people kill themselves and eat each other all the time in their houses, in their subdivisions. Cops be there. Bruh, it ain't Disney World. What you talking about? Let me calm down, y'all. Let me calm down. I'm getting all worked up. But I'm just like, bro, what you talking about? You in the subdivision. That's why they there. He got that far. He should have went across to the border. Yes. And I'm not sure how true it is. I feel like a subscriber, or I heard somewhere, or someone told me that and it could have been one of y'all. I apologize if I can't recall. But that Meech was possibly offered from El Chapo or somebody, the cartel, to lay low in another country, but he refused to go. I'm not sure how true that is, but I can see that too. And I believe in the beginning of this episode, Wayne, one of his men, mentioned that extradition, the laws was changing. So a lot of countries you probably think about trying to go, it was pointless because they bring you behind right back over here. Okay. So I don't know. I just feel like Meech was too set in his ways. It was weird because and especially with this episode, we get like this mixture of like contradictory things, with him. And it was just pretty much, I feel like it was a combination of like arrogance and, paranoia. You know what I'm saying? Like, they coming, but you still arrogant. He also mentioned like you can't, pretty much if you're doing the same thing in different cities, it's gonna be harder to catch you. But I'm like, what, bro? Like, he was just too arrogant for his own good. And Yogi also mentioned, like, apparently he stated that it's not that he didn't want to really not go to jail, but he wanted to get the heads up so he can set everything in place. But I'm like, in my head, if you're a drug dealer, you need to have those things in order regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much like a will. I feel like you need to make sure he was good. And you had a decent thing going with the record label. You just fell flat on the talent. Hey, how you gonna have a record label with no talent? Like, Smokey already was telling his boy Craig, like, you got two things, you don't got two things that match. You got peanut butter but no jelly, ham but no burger, record label with no talent. Come on, bro. What kind of front is this? The math ain't math. And I know those, them documents when it comes to the revenue with the record labels, that's probably either, if it's not public knowledge that you can find somewhere, especially if it's a privately, a publicly owned company, I'm sure the FBI can have access to the revenue. So if they see you bringing up $1,500 from Blue Da Vinci's record sales, that ain't gonna work. That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. Oh gosh. But that was pretty much it, y'all. I guess for next episode, they're probably gonna summarize, the time everybody's facing and maybe put us on a cliffhanger for future season 2. We gonna see. We gonna see. Said Big Meech wanted to get caught. Probably, but I don't know. It's just weird. The psychology of it just doesn't make sense to me. When Meech said he'd be running dope since he was he'd been running dope since he was 13, 14 until he was 37. I wanted to hug him. He said he didn't know anything else. Oh, baby. Oh, you wanted to give him one of them church hugs, girl. I didn't feel bad for him. I was probably more annoyed because I'm like, bruh, 20 years in the game. I'm going to need you to move a little different. Okay, just a little different. All right, that's all I want for Christmas. LaBarbie was hiding Craig Paris for like 5-6 years in Mexico. Me should have took his chance. Just saying. All them black churches in Atlanta, we should have went and signed some of them girls up the choir. Oh my God. I don't know why when you said all them black churches in Atlanta, I thought you was about to say me should have been a pastor. Meech and Mace could have probably teamed up because Mace was around that time, child. Like, they could have did a thing. He probably could have invested in the churches nonetheless. Like, he had options. He was playing around. He was being lazy. I think Meech was being lazy. Because if he didn't want to put the work into the label, you had Yogi, you had so many other people, with knowledge. I know you had the car thing that kind of, I don't know. I mean, that was pretty much a front, but y'all could have did something with that. He had the magazine. Seemed like he just wanted pictures of himself public size. I don't really know what content he had up in there. If he had the beauties of the week like Jack, I don't know. The only things I saw was him on the cover. Okay, so I don't know. Hey, DeMarcus, I appreciate it. Thank you. I want to see Terry in the finale. The internet will break. It definitely will. I kind of lost hope. Is what I've been asking for. I don't know. Maybe at some point Terry would write a book or something, but I don't know if he's probably getting paid from this some type of way, but I don't know if we'll hear from him, but it would be nice. I would definitely appreciate it. The finale, hope the season finale is 45. They better give us something. I can't do no 26-minute season finale. That won't be cute at all. And I'm gonna write some letters to stars, okay? Yes, Pastor B. Let the church say amen. It would have been like Pastor Swift on the BMF, so like a Snoop Dogg situation. I'm just saying. There was options. He was cool with Diddy and Suge. He could have signed Missy or Kelly Price. It probably was spoken for already, like how Jeezy was. I'm pretty sure he said he pretty much wanted to sign Jeezy, but he was taken. Jay-Z and Death Row and snatched him up already. So I guess that's where he, had the bright idea to sign Blue Da Vinci, but yeah. He said Meat should have transitioned. Jay Prince did it. Yeah, that's true too, y'all. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I'm gonna get out of here, okay, because it is getting late. All right, but I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm gonna see y'all most likely same time, possibly maybe 8:15. We'll see. But I will let y'all know in advance. For episode 8, if y'all watch Power, I will be reviewing Power season 3, episode 5 tomorrow at 8:15. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. Toodles. Like the video.